got chest, back, some rotators, and some low back. Then we'll finish it off with a little bit of some cardio and some hips again today. Alright, we got a cable face pull. Again, I got the bands here instead of cables. So in this one, you're going to have it hooked into somewhere it's about chest-ish height. You're going to go to where arms are fully extended. And for our face pull, we're kicking our elbows back. And the idea is almost to take your thumbs to your ears right there. Exploding back, kind of controlling it on the way there, but exploding up, controlling on the way there. Again, making sure my elbows stay up. I'm not coming in here to a bicep, but it's kicking out those shoulder blades. Alright guys, dumbbell closed grip bench. So classic bench position here. But on this, we're going to keep our weights right next to each other the entire time. So we're going to be coming down, keeping our elbows in. We don't need to shove them way out, but keeping the elbows in. And keeping yourself nice and tight all the way through there. Alright, we got a cable row to external rotation. So again, we got about them hooked up about chest height. So we're only going to do a partial row. We're just going to stop to where we're about parallel with our body. And then we're going to go external, go back, and then go back forward. So really what we're doing by this row is not really necessarily working anything, but that row is just going to help set our scaps before we go into our external rotation. Alright, we got cable lawnmower rows. So this one, it's a whole body kind of getting into it. It's not just the arm row. You're going to start nice kind of squatted position. You got your band or cable hooked up low at the very bottom. You're going to start here, and you're going to row up and stand yourself up as well, and then come back down. So my whole body is moving, and again, it'd be just like you're starting one of those pull lawnmowers. This was in your last workout as well, but we just got archer push-ups. So we're going out just a little ways with our hands, getting into a good push-up position. You're going to rock down, touch the chest just inside of this hand, come up, and then come back down, touch the chest just inside of this hand, and keep going there. Superman slow swimmers. So we did Superman earlier in the week, just got a little variation of it. So we're going to be lying down, and this one we're going to be in constant motion the whole time, and literally just kicking our feet and our hands in extremely slow motion the entire time, never speeding up, but just really slow and controlled all the way to the time. Alright, we got a low cable row, so we're just hooking up our cable, our bands at the very bottom there. Get into a good squat position. And on this one, we're not going to go up super high. We're actually going to stay with our thumbs and our hands just a little bit below the chest on a row. So just working specifically a little bit more, specifically the lat, not necessarily as much on the upper back there. Alright, we got cable flies, just doing a single arm at a time here. So again, we got our chest facing forward, going away from that, we got our bands or our pulley hooked up about chest height. And we're really working on some stabilization. So when we do those flies, we're just again doing it one-handed. And I shouldn't have a big twisting motion of my body, but I should be able to stay completely flush there. Just moving that one arm. And then once you get done with that, obviously switch it over to the other arm. This is another tough one, just a lot of stabilization in this. So it's cable pressed, but we're really working on the rotator muscles. So we're getting into what we would do, for like a dumbbell press. We're getting into that position, but we got our bands hooked at a low spot, or our pulley hooked up at a low spot, and you're simply just going to do a normal press. But obviously, most of it is just getting those bands or trying to pull your arms forward. So really making sure that we pinch back in those scaps, and that we get that upper trap to work as well. And on this, you want to do fairly light, because you don't want to do too heavy that you can't get that arm almost fully extended. If you're having to get caught right about here, you probably need to drop your weight, because you do want to try to get those arms almost fully extended up. There we go, scap jump push-ups. So in this, we're not going to be doing a full push-up, obviously. We're just working on the scap and really exploding off it. But you'll start normal push-up position here. So the big difference here is we're not going to get way deep into this to try to jump. We're just going to get a little tiny bend. We're really just going to be almost dropping and then exploding. So every single time when you do that, you should feel your chest drop below your scaps. It shouldn't be just the bend. You should drop below and explode. So if you need to take a little bit of time in between each rep, just to make sure you do get into that position, that's completely fine. It doesn't have to be too quick right here. All right, we got a hanging row. I don't have the equipment in my house to be able to do this one. But what it is basically is you're going to be doing a row upside down. So you'd be on the ground, and you'd have a barbell somewhere just extremely a little bit further than arm's length away, and you'd either have it on a squat rack, or you can put it between two chairs, two benches, whatever it is. So you'd be holding onto that, and then you'd be pulling yourself up with that bar, and then really, really slow and controlled on the way back down. We got sideline tuck jumps. So this one, it's a little bit of cardio, but I also want you to slow yourself down so you can control each jump. So you're just finding a line to jump over side to side, and you're also doing that tuck motion between. So you're getting down, and that tuck is when I pick my knees up on the jump, stick it, make sure I get myself stabilized, and go again. And again, if you kind of get out of sync, just reset your feet and keep going. All right, again, we got controlled ski jumps, so we're not, we're doing some cardio, but we want to always control ourselves more first and foremost. So in this one, we're just kind of getting low. We're going to drop in my right leg, stabilize it. If you need, you can take a second hop in between there just to be able to stabilize. It shouldn't be but no, I want to get a big jump every time, stabilize, and then do it again. All right, this one is cardio. We're going to be moving fast, so it's just our toe touches, our toe wall touches. So we're facing the wall, so it's almost like we're doing high knees, but we're just touching our toes to the tip of this every single time. So again, this one is continuous, it's fast, it's not as much break. All right, we got our side curb touches right here, so we're gonna do right and left. I'll just do my right side. Coda's obviously gonna help me out today. But what this is we're facing the side of the curb, and it's almost like we're doing kind of that football movement, but we're gonna go up and touch the curb with our right foot, and it's gonna be touch, 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 touch. And hopefully you scare your dog a little bit. All right, we got this one once earlier in the week. We're doing it again. We got our pretzels. So again, we're getting in this position, twisting our legs up and over, touch our knees, we keep going back again, trying to keep our chest forward, not leaning back, because that makes it a little bit easier on us. All right, more hips. We got our side lying forward, and then we also get our backward circles. So again, we want to be a completely straight line with our body. Don't want to be curled or overarched or anything. And we've got our first round is going circles forward. So it's important on these circles when we're doing them with our upper leg here that we're not going way out far and not very far back, but we have an even circle with that foot kind of split in the exact middle the whole way. So you'll do one leg forward, the other leg forward, and then you'll go to your backwards ones, doing the exact same thing, just making sure that we have an even circle, that we're not going further out forward or further out backward. All right, we got side lying 90-degree hip raise on this one. It's gonna be a little weird video, but hey, that's okay. So we're getting into a side position, but this time we got a 90-degree, kind of almost like we're curled up here. And we're gonna take this top leg, kind of like we did with our fire hydrants earlier in the week, raise it on up, get a great view there, go back on down. And again, you're gonna do one leg all the way through. And it's important to keep this leg at 90 degrees. You're not straightening out, you're not curling it up either. You're keeping everything as close to 90 as you can. All right, last one, we got our deep catcher squat, kind of rockers here. So we're gonna go just like in a catcher squat right here. I would encourage you to try to keep your elbows kind of inside of your knees to help just with some of the flexibility aspects. And all you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be rocking forward and back, and you should just feel a really good stretch in those hips. And the objective here is to try your best to keep your heel on the ground as much as you can. Obviously, when you rock one way, my right heel is gonna come up when I rock left, and when I rock to the right, the left heel is going to come up just a little bit, but trying to keep those heels on the ground so it's really just the hips moving.